Annabelle. Good morning. Okay, y'all. This is the beginning of making sourdough English muffins. And so the day before you want to make these, you're going to take a half a cup of your sourdough starter. And I'll have directions for this series on how to make your sourdough. And you're going to put it in a big bowl. Just like that. And then you're going to have to take 2 cups of flour and 1 cup of milk. Now I veganized this recipe, this restaurant. Sometimes it feels that way. So I'm using rice milk, or you could use soy milk or any alternative milk you want if you're vegan, or if you're not, just use plain milk. So I'm going to do 2 cups of flour. And you're going to, like I said, you're going to do this the night before. Sorry, my camera's all over the place. I'm trying to head out the door, but I remembered I need to do this. Okay, 2 cups of flour. And you probably want to get yours, make sure you just get a cup. Alright, 2 cups of flour. There you go. And then you're going to put 1 cup of milk. And you're going to stir this all together. Try to use a wooden spoon, that would be awesome. And then you're going to let it sit overnight. Just going to give it a stir. And then you're just going to incorporate this really well. And you're going to let it sit overnight. And then we'll pick up tomorrow with our English muffin recipe, sourdough muffin recipe. Alrighty, that's it. So if you're making this, you need to do this first, this step first, because it takes overnight. So anywhere from 12 to 24 hours. And that's it. That's our first step. Hey y'all, welcome back to Simple Living with Michelle Davenport. I'm going to start this new series, and it's all about sourdough, everything about sourdough. There will be, in each video I make, I think there's going to be 3 to 4 in this series. Each video I make, I will leave in the description box below the recipe how to start your own sourdough starter. So I'm not going to take up time in this video to tell you how to do that, but if you'll just follow the directions, within about a week, you will have your own sourdough. Back at the starter, in a jar or however you want to keep it. Back in the day, I think they called it friendship bread, Amish friendship starter. But anyway, and I remember getting it and really not knowing what to do with it. So I've learned a lot since then. So I want to share what I've learned about the sourdough starter and how to use it in recipes. Today we are going to be making sourdough English muffins in a cast iron skillet. Woohoo! So that would be good for, let's say, sandwiches. It would be awesome for an afternoon snack with some peanut butter and jelly, or for breakfast. It would be good to toast up with maybe some vegan cheese on it, a little bit of pizza sauce on it, and make like a little vegan pizza. Anyway, the options are endless with English muffins. They're endless with English muffins. Just say that 3 times. Anyway, I'm so excited. So I've had my starter dough for, I don't know, about 7 or 8 months now, and I am having the best time. I've got the recipe to make sourdough pancakes from Farmhouse on Boone from Lisa. She's the one that got me started on it. So if you haven't checked out her channel, I'll leave her below as well, because she's amazing. She's the one that reintroduced it to me, and I am like so excited. We love it. I veganized her recipe, but still it came from her. And then I veganized it. But the pancakes, my gosh, they're amazing. So that will be a part of this series as well. Then I'm thinking about doing a pizza. I'll either do it from her channel, or I found one on Pinterest. So regardless, I will leave that information below as well. So I tell you what, I've done all I need to do this morning to get ready to make this video. And so let's get into the recipe. Woohoo! Who's excited with me? Come on, raise your piggy, raise your little fingers up in the air, your piggies. Well, that would be these. Raise your hand up in the air. Okay, y'all, last night, or yesterday, I put in, it was a half a cup of my sourdough starter in this bowl. Okay, and that's how it looks now. Okay, there you go. And I put in 2 cups of flour. You can use einkorn flour, you can use regular flour, you can use wheat flour, whatever flour you want. I absolutely just use regular flour, but I use einkorn flour in my starter dough. After I got it started and it, started really bubbling and was fermented, then I switched over to einkorn because it also has tons of benefits. So I added that, and then I added 1 cup of almond milk and let it sit. It says you can let it sit for about 18 minutes, not 18 minutes, about 8 hours or 18 hours. And I let mine sit for 18 hours, so I did it yesterday and now I'm working on it today. And then to that mixture, we're gonna add 1 tablespoon of sugar. Now I prefer to use monk fruit sugar, which is amazing. It has 0 net carbs, 0 glycemic, 0 calorie, and it's 1-to-1 replacement. So it doesn't it calls for 1 tablespoon, then you just put 1 tablespoon. So we're gonna put 1 tablespoon of sugar in there. I am trying to dough off this recipe. Then we're gonna use 3/4 of a teaspoon of salt, which is over there, and we're gonna use 1 teaspoon of baking soda. Put that in there. And then let me grab my salt. Because I'm just that organized that I forgot salt. So, here we go. Then we're gonna use 3/4 of a teaspoon of salt. So, and I just kinda, yes. All right. And it works well for me. So I can't be too picky about it. And then we're gonna go ahead and just kind of knead this a little bit. We're gonna add that extra flour. The recipe calls for 2 cups and 3/4. So we're gonna go ahead and add that flour. And then we're gonna knead it for 3 or 4 minutes. And that's well, that's not too long, but to do it by hand, it does seem like that's a little long, but that's okay. We're just going to roll it around until, I'm just rolling it in this bowl so you can see. Just rolling it to get all the goodness in there, all the baking powder, all the salt, the sugar, and just getting it to, like if you were to put it in a mixer and you were to, it would mix, it would just, until it gathers all up into a ball. Then you have then you're ready. I need a little bit more flour. I've never made, all these recipes, well not all of them, but this one for sure is a new recipe. So I'm learning right along with you guys. And I'll be tasting it for the first time with you guys. We're gonna knead this, and the directions say for 4 to 6 minutes. And I don't know if you know how to knead, but you're just going to keep adding flour, number 1, until you feel like you can touch your bread without it all sticking to you. Okay. Just fold it over, and you're gonna again, the recipe calls for 2 cups of flour and a half a cup of your sourdough starter and 1 cup of milk. But the next day, the whole entire recipe calls for 2 3/4 of flour. And your 3/4 of flour comes in now. When you're trying to get this kneaded, just have fun. Try not to get too worried about too much, because you know what? We're just playing with sourdough. We're just playing with sourdough today. Okay, now it's still just it's pretty sticky. But after you get finished doing this, after you get finished kneading it, it's gonna have to sit for 45 minutes. So you're just gonna chill. All right. I think it's going to turn out delicious. but I can't overemphasize the flour. Just when you think you had enough, put some more. Because I thought I had enough to keep it from sticking, and I didn't. Okay. And you're just kneading up a storm. And that's how you do it, okay? I really got to the point where I can show you how to do it. You're gonna fold it over, push it, and then get it like that, and do it again. Get it, give it a push with your palm, fold it over, push it. You're just moving it away from you, away from your body. And the more you do this, the less stickier it'll be. And you just kind of do this for 5 minutes. Sing your song in your head, or make your to-do list, or praise your Jesus. We'll cook them in the cast iron skillet. We'll cook them in the cast iron skillet, and then I'll do a taste test for you because I think they're going to be out of this world. Even though my dough gave me a little fit and I forgot my salt. I went and got it though. Okay, y'all, I'm back. We're gonna roll these out. Now, I told you, if you're looking for a perfect cooking channel, keep looking, because this one ain't it. I told you it was the first time I made it, and after rereading the directions, you are supposed to get that dough, knead it for 4 to 5 minutes, then you roll it out, you use a biscuit cutter and cut it and put it on a parchment lined cookie sheet with some cornmeal on top, and you cut them and put them on the cookie sheet and let them rest for 45 minutes. I actually let the dough rest for 45 minutes. So we'll see how this all works out in the end. And I'll be honest, I'll let you know if that made a big difference. But I am gonna go ahead and roll them out and then let them rest for maybe 15 minutes since the dough's already been resting. The timer is about to go off. So it's already been resting for 45. Long enough for me to eat half a jar of nuts. So plenty long enough. Anyway, I'm gonna get to rolling these out and cut them, and then I'll let them rest again, and we'll put them in the cast iron skillet, and I'll give them a taste test. Sorry about that confusion. That'll learn me. I should have read my recipe more than once. So anyway, I am going to go ahead and flour this and roll this dough out to about 3/4 of an inch. I kind of like doing new recipes with you guys, but I probably need to read them a lot better. Or at least go over it twice. See, there's the time, it's ready. I think the pancake one, I've made it many times, so I actually think we're gonna be good to go there. And I do believe this is still gonna turn out. Yeah, I believe it will. And I believe this is probably plenty thin. Okay, so as I said, we're gonna put that on a parchment lined cookie tray with some cornmeal on there. And we're gonna cut these out. I actually think this is y'all, the moment of truth. We're gonna see how this turned out. All right, cutting it open. Oh my gosh. I don't know if you can see all that smoke coming out from there. But it is. That's incredible. Okay, this looks so yummy. All right, we're gonna put some butter on it. You know, just a tad. And we are going to try this homemade jam that I made. Here's my jam. I only use probably half a cup of raspberries, if that. So they're not gonna last that long. I'm gonna smear it with some jam. All right. I think this might blow my mind. Here we go. The moment of truth. Oh my gosh. Number one, the texture is incredible. Incredible. That raspberry jam, so simple. It took me like 3 minutes to make. Most of that time was boiling time. And this is yeah. I don't know why I took another bite, probably because it's so good. You gotta make it. Oh my gosh. This jam, this sourdough English muffin, it's incredible. Just don't forget that you do have a 45-minute time that it needs to just sit and rest. I did it wrong, not according to the directions, but it worked out beautifully. But I will, from this day forward, I will go ahead and cut my little English muffins out, put them on a parchment lined with cornmeal cookie sheet, and let it sit and rest for 45 minutes, and then go ahead and put them in the cast iron skillet. Just because you don't have to do, that way you don't do it twice. So I felt the need that after I let the dough rest, I also had to let the English muffins rest. So I just want to let it rest once. But anyway, it didn't seem to make a big difference, but then again, it's the first time I've ever had it. Okay, thank y'all. Thank y'all for stopping by Simple Living, enjoying this recipe with me, and stay tuned for a mini series on sourdough and all the versatility of sourdough starter, everything you can do with it. And thank you for stopping by.